Let's talk about 1099s. We're required to issue 1099s to certain vendors. Let's go under the Maintain pull-down menu and let's pull up our vendors and let's go in to one of our vendors that we're required to issue a 1099 to. Now let's briefly talk about the rules the IRS places on us for issuing 1099s. There are three basic rules that apply to us that will require us to issue a 1099. The first rule is that we paid a vendor over $600 during the year. The second rule is that we purchased services from this vendor versus tangible goods. The third rule is that this vendor is not incorporated. Typical examples of this scenario are CPAs and accountants and attorneys. You'll notice here that Gunter Wilson Jones and Smiths is a law firm for the Bellwether Garden Supply. Following these rules, they are not incorporated and we purchase services from them and paid them in excess of $600 during the year. So we need to tell Peachtree that this vendor will require a 1099 at the end of the year. So to set this, we come over here under the 1099 type and we select Independent Contractor. We save this vendor and we click on Close. Now let's assume it's the end of the year and we need to process our 1099s. We're required to have 1099s postmarked no later than January 31st of the following year. Let's come under here under Reports and come down to Accounts Payable, and let's come down to the 1099 Forms folder. Double click on this folder and let's choose Form 1099 Miscellaneous. Let's preview this so we can see it on the screen before sending it to the printer. Let's accept these defaults, lower limit of $600 for the year 2003, and click OK. Let's zoom in on this, and you can see that Peachtree printed up a 1099 form for Gunter Wilson Jones and Smith. Now you can go down to any office supply store and purchase standard 1099 forms for your type of printer. Most people use a single sheet printer such as a LaserJet or inkjet, and you can place the 1099 forms in the printer and Peachtree is already lined up to print the forms for you. Now we can just send this form to the printer and everything's lined up and it will print properly for us on the form. Let's close this window and let's cover one other area with our 1099 forms. On January 31st, we send out our 1099s to all of our vendors that meet those three criteria. We're also required to file a Form 1096. This is a summary of all the 1099 forms. Peachtree does not prepare this form for us. So when you purchase your package of 1099 forms, it'll also come with the 1096 form. You'll simply fill out the 1096 form manually and send it in to the IRS. And that's how to do 1099 forms for your vendors.